Hola, 'tis I, Alycia. How are you? I hope you're doing well. So we're gonna do a little Crystal Chit Chat. Okay, yes, my jazz hands are very excited. So what we're talking about today, most times when you go into the marketplace, say on Etsy, eBay, my shop, whatever, you're going to find, looking for selenite, this is what you're going to get. Now, this is actually a form of selenite, but it is actually Satin Spar. Okay, so this is not selenite, this is Satin Spar. So there is a difference in the marketplace, but most people, when they're looking for this, they're going to call it selenite. So in case there's the people out there is like, well, officially it's this. Yes, officially it is Satin Spar. It's not selenite in the proper sense of the word, because selenite is a form of gypsum, and it is usually clear. These are opaque, right? So if you see some selenite, true selenite, it is more clear than this is, okay? And it's closely related, and that's where the difference or the confusion in the marketplace can be, because they're both gypsum. So this is just a different form. This is the one that's more popular. This is the one that most people are purchasing to use for cleansing and all that stuff. Okay, there's a lot of cool properties for selenite. So selenite quickly opens and it activates your third eye, crown chakra, and the soul star chakra that's above your head. This is a stone that most mystics would use for creating a bubble of white light protection, to cast a circle for protection. That's why you would use a piece like this. This would be a wand. This is I think this is about a 4-inch wand. So it's an effective cleanser for your auric field. So your auric field extends around 12 inches around your entire body. And so this is used to comb through your auric field to kind of cleanse out all of that junk of the day, those interactions you probably had with people at the store that you're like, bro, back off, this is my space, I don't want you that close. That's what you're going to use a wand for. A selenite wand's good for combing through your auric field. This is cleansing your objects. If you wanted to cleanse your magical tools, you can do that as well. You can kind of look at, like, this is a smokeless type of sage tool that you could have and use for cleansing. Now, another thing you could think about is this is a selenite, what they would call a ruler. So just because of the shape, it kind of looks like a ruler, right? This one's in the shop and it has all the little chakra symbols on it, and I've put a set of chakra crystals. Those are also in the shop. I use selenite. I place, like you can see here, I use the smaller selenite plates. I use them to place candles on, but I also will go ahead and I place my card decks on the selenite when I want to give them a good cleansing. You could do that here, putting your crystals on a selenite plate, or this chakra crystal ruler, to do that. They also say that, like, when you can combine all of the chakra crystals onto a selenite ruler, that energizes and magnifies the energies of these crystals much more by being connected to essentially this white bar of light. So if you were working on balancing your chakras, it might be a neat idea to create this as your own little chakra healing wand. You could use that E6000 glue if you wanted to. If, with tumbled stones, they're fairly affordable, and you can glue them onto your wand. You could also wire wrap them, although that might be kind of a tricky deal, but if you're good at wire wrapping, you could do that as well, and use this as an intended purpose to help you balance your chakras. I love having these plates. I combine these plates whenever I get some, and I just make myself almost like a little tabletop of, like, selenite, and I kind of use them like Legos, and I just put all of my tools that I'm looking to cleanse, and I'll set them there overnight or until the next time that I'm going to use them. Maybe I'm going to put another crystal on top. I always have a crystal on top of my deck that's on top of a selenite plate, if that's where they're getting their little cleansing. Selenite can lift one's awareness into higher planes of experience. So when you're cleansing, right, remember we're combing through our auric field, and this is allowing you then also to kind of get the the muck, the energy muck out of the way, so then it allows you to connect easier to your spirit guides, your spirit team that's hanging around. I haven't tried this because I'm not that flexible, but that you could place a selenite wand, that would be a piece like this, and you put it on your spine. So you're laying face down and you put a selenite wand on your spine, and it is to align all of your chakras. So that's another purpose that you can use with it. Now, a lot of people use selenite wands to create energy grids around their property. Okay, got a few more selenite wands here because I wanted to show you how people could then also use selenite to build an energy grid around their property. This is something that you could do this in your room. If you have a room, say you moved into this house and it's like all creepy town or something, and you want to cleanse it and then you want to keep it protected so no more creepy stuff comes back in, you can do that with selenite, and I usually recommend black tourmaline. So let's imagine that this right here with the cards, this is our house or our room, and we want to keep it protected. So within the four corners of the room, you would put in your black tourmaline. These are tumbled pieces of black tourmaline, and you put those in the four corners of your room, and then to continue to create your protective boundary, then you're going to lay the selenite in between each of the stones. Now you've set up an energetic boundary. Now to connect it, you can use your most magical tool that you have, your fingers, and you can connect the energy here as you're setting the intention for protection within the space or around the property of your home, if you want to do that. Now, if you're going to do the property of your home, you're going to need a lot more selenite and black tourmaline. You could do it. I'm just like a person who wants to make sure that the energetic connection is really super strong, and you would want to probably measure that with either a pendulum or dowsing rods to make sure that the connection is kept. Because if I have this at the front of my house and I have this like somewhere on the side of the house and this is at the back of my house, I'm not sure that that's really going to span that distance. I would want to double check with a pendulum or some dowsing rods to make sure that connection's going through and as I have intended. Now, theoretically, it should work, but you know me, I'm just kind of like one of those extra dab of glue type people, so I want to make sure it's all for sure connected. Now, you can also set your intention by, like you're making your own crystal grid, touching your stones together to connect. You're making a web of energy, and that's where you're using your wand to then connect back to your original stone where you started creating your energetic energy barrier. So there is that. So you have your selenite wands. These are always helpful, just to keep with you. You only need one. But, sometimes if you're doing an energetic boundary, you might need more than one. But generally, you can get away with one. These are little plates that I have in the shop as well. Now, these ones, like you can see, I have a candle on top of it. And if you want to do that, you could do it. But I also like to just have these little guys around in case I'm just, maybe I want to recharge a few of my crystals. So you can see how small this one is compared to this bigger guy here. But I would leave my crystals on here. You could also put your jewelry on here at the end of the night if you want to, give that a good cleansing as well. Same for the bigger plate. This is a playing card size. This is tarot card size, so you could fit one of each of those on a plate like this if you're also looking to charge some of your tools. Now, the last little cutie I have here is a Selenite Barrel. So essentially what they did, Selenite grows like this. Let's see if you can see on here the lines of how Selenite grows. This is something that when you use it, you don't want to get it wet. It will erode. It's gypsum. And so that's why you don't get it wet. If you want to cleanse it, you can dust it, or you can cleanse it through incense or smoke of sage. Now this is similar. It's made out of selenite like this, but it's not rough cut. This is polished and tumbled. And this is nice just to keep with you to have on the go if you're going to pop it in your pocket and you want to just have some protection, help you wherever you are. You can also, if you're in a pinch and you're like, oh my gosh, I just picked up this deck of cards from, I don't know, an antique shop or something, and I want to cleanse it before I even bring it into my car, you can do that. Do some cleansing with it. You're just running this through the energy of the deck of the cards to cleanse it. And then when you get home, just keep your little selenite barrel on top of it to continue the cleansing process. And I would recommend you'd leave it there about 24 hours and you should be all good in the hood. But again, if you want to do some extra, you can of course get some sage and burn a leaf of sage. You don't have to burn an entire bundle with your sage. You can just get, a lot of times when you order from my shop, I include a sage leaf in your order. And all you have to do, you don't need to burn the whole thing. You can just get it, light it on your candle, and run your items through that smoke as well. So if you wanted to do extra protection, cleansing, and all that stuff, you can do that with your stones as well. So just a little bit of sage will do ya. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. All of these things are in the shop at AlyciaWicker.com. And if you have any other questions, you can let me know down in the comments below. Adios.